Okay, now I can see you all in view. Okay, welcome. If you don't know, my name is Lily. I'm an environmental science major here. I consider myself somebody who cares about the planet and trying to do good onto it. And recently I've become involved with and also a member of the board of the Humboldt sector of the Green Party. I came into this completely by happenstance. I happened to just be going to the Northtown County Fair where I met Hank. He was tabling and we just got to talking. I expressed my interest in becoming involved in local government and just local community action. And he said, come to one of our meetings and I'll put you on the board. And it really was just as simple as that. And we kind of just got to talking, and you know, there's definitely there's a real disparity of knowledge of how many people know about the Green Party, kind of what it's about, especially amongst people our age, young people. I guess I won't say our age as we're multifaceted here, but yeah, and I just think that especially in this time period, it's quintessential to give people hope and avenues to like move away from apathy. There really is so much we can do, and it really does start on the small scale, on the local scale. Humboldt County has the most most members of Green Party per capita anywhere in the United States, and I just would like to see that continue and prosper. And I think everybody has a role in this, and I think everybody has something that they can bring to the table. And so, yeah, even just getting people talking about it and kind of bringing it back into the public eye, I think is super important. Welcome! Oh, okay, so with that little introduction, I think I'll pass it on. We are so fortunate to have with us today one of the previous presidential nominees for the Green Party, 2004, David Cobb. He's also worked on Jill Stein's campaign as one of the campaign managers, and he's going to be here to talk to us a little bit about the philosophies of the Green Party, what it means, what they stand for, how they differ from the current, pardon my French, clusterfuck, and yeah, kind of just where we go forward from here. So.
Thank you, Lily.
Yeah.
So Lily, for organizing this, right? So y'all, because we're relatively small, I'm going to do a go round, and part of this is going to be a conversation, like for sure. I'm going to perform my assignment that Lily gave me, but I'm also going to occasionally just do some organizing tricks, right, and show you like how we do it. So what you're about to see is me say, look, we're a relatively small group, so I'm going to do a go-round, and I'm going to ask each of you to say your name, preferred pronoun, and in one very short declarative sentence, why you came here or what you hope to get out of it, or you can pass. And I'm going to model what I mean. Lily, you sat to my left, so you have to go next. So it goes like this. I'm David, he, him pronouns. I'm here because I'm a revolutionary.
I'm Lily, I use she, her pronouns, and I'm here because I want to be a part of the change I hope to see in the world.
I'm Brady, I use she, her pronouns, and I'm here because I don't like the two parties that are there right now.
I'm Sarah, I'm she, her, and pretty much the same thing as everybody else. You know, we want a better world.
I'm Julia, I use she, they pronouns, and I, same as everyone else, want to see the downfall of the two-party system. So.
My name's Viviana, I use she, her pronouns. I guess I'm here to learn and kind of how to be a part of inspiring that hope in people and having that hope kind of be inspired in me, I guess.
My name's Carly, she, her pronouns. I'm here because I want to be surrounded by a community that is also like in the right or in the same like ideologies that I have.
I'm Diane. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm here because I want to interact with young people. As a person who's like a good 60 years older than most of you, it's a joy to be surrounded by young people instead of all the old people that usually attend the kinds of things that I go to. And I've been in the Green Party for, well, Cynthia McKinney was the first Green Party candidate that came to campus and talked about the Green Party and her goals. And she was the first Green Party person that I voted for president. So since then, that's been what I've been.
Well, to be he, him, and if I may use my standard humor, I'm with she who must be obeyed.
I'm Sean, he, they, and I'm here to learn more about the Green Party and really frustrated with the two-party system, and also for hope.
I'm Jonah. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm here to learn more about local community organizing.
Oh, and before you go, Daniel, I just wanted to point it back to you, Hank. You're a part of
No,
this.
that was quite all right. I'm Hank, and he, him, and I do this because I'm trying to make the world a better place.
Hi, I'm Daniel. My pronouns are he, him. I'm just an intern here, for real. But, you know, glad to be here. Glad to, you know, see all this. This is pretty cool.
I'm Travis. I'm here because I've been jaded with the two-party system since 2020, and I'm hoping that we can use the frustration people have with the Democratic Party's failure this election to mobilize and do something more.
Hi, my name's Ethan Laverne. I also work here at CCAT. Also previously in high school. I don't know if you remember me. I did volunteer work with the Green Party for a little bit. You did the big event with Jill Stein who came here. I helped did a bunch of tabling with that. I'm not sure if you remember any of that. I also helped did a bunch of tabling out for some like Arts Alives. So I've been involved with the Green Party since back then. I've been a registered member. However, as I'm sure you're aware, the Green Party has been decreasing in the amount of votes it's been getting after the last few election cycles. And I'm here to see if you have reasons to explain why. I mean, no, that's not completely on you or anything, but you are definitely a leader within the party. So, you know, I'm coming here as a little bit disgruntled at seeing it going down. I'm kind of disappointed at seeing Jill Stein being repeatedly nominated as the candidate personally. But, like, I also understand that maybe there's not a better person to select for various reasons. Yeah, that's just me. Here's supporter more than anything, but, you know, all sorts of feelings all over the place, but thank you. Nice to see you.
I'm Charlie. I use they or he pronouns, and I'm a comrade of David's, and I'm visiting and just checking out what he's up to.
So thank you, y'all, and I will get to all of this. So I'm going to, in 15 minutes, basically do some framing. You're going to time me and let me know when I've got 5 minutes left, yes?
Awesome, let me go myself.
There you go. So I'm going to start with this. My introduction, I said I was a revolutionary. And I said that for two very important reasons. The first and most important reason is because it's true. I believe this current social, political, and economic system is fundamentally racist. It's fundamentally sexist. It is literally built upon class oppression. And as if that's not bad enough, and I hope we can all agree that's terrible, like literally this system is destroying the planet that we depend upon for life itself. How am I doing so far?
Yep.
Right? So this is the thing. Almost everybody that I know that's conscious and awake knows the truth of what I just said. And so the second reason I say I'm a revolutionary is because I'm trying to encourage other people to acknowledge that it's going to take restructuring the entire system, or we are going to bear witness to a horrific mass human die-off, and we're going to see the destruction of almost the entire large mammalian species. It's fucking serious, right? And so I am a revolutionary. Now, I want to be clear, I'm a non-violent revolutionary. So for the purposes of the recording and any FBI informant who might be in the room, I'm not calling for the violent overthrow of the U.S. government. I am calling for ordinary people to lean into the power that we actually have and recognize that it's up to us. Nobody is going to come and save us. I mean, so I want you to genuinely, honestly, look around the room as you're seeing me look around the room. I want you to just look around the room at each other and try to make eye contact with one or two people. It's us. Right? And so, I am a revolutionary. I'm a peaceful revolutionary, but I am a revolutionary. I think that we need to restructure this society. I also want to let you know that it's been done before. This is the thing that the corporate media and the neoliberal Democrats and the neo-fascist Republicans will constantly tell the lie to try to disempower you and me and everybody else. They try to convince us that we actually are not able to, or that we need to mitigate our demands. But I want to actually share with you what I believe is the genuine recipe for transformational change in the U.S. You ready? It's actually simple to describe. It's really hard to do, but it's really simple to describe. It's basically 2 steps. Each step has a couple of subcategories. You ready? Step number 1. You need a mass movement of ordinary people who have clarity about what is the problem and consciousness around the fact that it is a class system, a predatory class, that are using the legal system, the economic system, and everything else. So you need a mass movement who understands the problem, who also have a vision for a new order or a new society, right? So that is in the language of political consciousness or class consciousness. You have to have the group of people who are self-aware of themselves. Within that mass movement, though, that mass movement has to be militant, educated, coordinated, and committed. That's what I mean. Remember I said that there were multiple steps. But really it's just you have to have a mass movement, educated, committed, coordinated, right? Number 2, you need an electoral arm of that movement that are willing to go into the ballot box, but also to go and make legislative changes. See, if you have a mass movement that succeeds as a movement, but is not engaging in elections, you can change the hearts and minds of people, but you don't change policy. You don't change the law. You don't change the systems, right? Likewise, if you only have an electoral arm at the ballot box in the party, then what you basically have is a bunch of people running for office. And you don't actually have what's actually necessary to make the change. You put the 2 of those together, and it is catalytic. It is an amazing process, right? And I'm going to now share with you why I'm a Green Party member, not out of idealism, although I am idealistic. I'm a Green Party member out of cold, calculated political analysis. I don't think it's possible to get to the world that I want within either the 2-party system and absolutely not the neoliberal Democratic Party. And by that I mean, I'm 60. I'll be 62 years old next month. So I am also an elder in this group. But I can tell you, in my youth, I was active in the anti-apartheid movement back at the University of Houston. And I learned a lot in the anti-apartheid movement. I learned that if you follow the rules and do what you're told and go and ask nicely and politely for the Board of Regents to divest from the holdings of South Africa, so any of you in the anti-war movement and the Justice for Palestine movement will recognize that tactic, right? So when we obeyed the rules and played nice, they patted us on the head and completely and utterly ignored us. But when we became disruptive, when we fucked shit up whenever we went to the Board of Regents and threw down and locked down, all of a sudden we started to exercise some power. And so I learned, we have to be disruptive. And not, but disciplined in our disruption. It has to be strategic, right? From that, in the 1980s, it became very natural for me to get involved in Jesse Jackson for president in 1984 and 1988. And I learned a lot from Reverend Jesse Jackson. As a white person, it was the first time I think I had genuinely put myself under the leadership of people of color. Jesse Jackson, African-American minister, for those of you who may not know, but actually sought the Democratic Party's nomination in both 84 and 88. I started as a student volunteer at the University of Houston. I went on to become a delegate for the Jesse Jackson at the state of Texas Democratic Party convention. In 1992, I worked on Jerry Brown's campaign for president, and I learned a lot in those campaigns. I, again, learned how to put myself under the leadership of people of color. I learned how to build alliances between environmentalists and organized labor and women's group and social justice groups. I actually learned about Palestine for the first time in my life through the Jesse Jackson campaign in '84. I learned a lot. You know what else I learned? The Democratic Party's presidential primary is where progressive politics goes to die. Because all the enthusiasm, all the excitement, all the energy of mobilizing and organizing were basically told by the neoliberals who control that party, all right, you had your fun in the primary, get to the back of the bus, sit down and shut up. And I had that experience in 84, 88, 92. In 1996, Bill Clinton won the Democratic Party's nomination. Bill Clinton turned me into a Green. And everything that was happening there. Because I still remember, y'all, the conversation I had with a leader of in Houston, Texas, the Harris County Democratic Party state chair, county executive. Houston, by the way, is the biggest, most populous city in the entire state of Texas. It was still, Democrats were still, like some of us are old enough to remember when Texas was a Democratic Party state. This guy put his hand on my shoulder, looked me in the eye the way I'm looking at Lily, held my gaze and said, Cobb, look, you really are talented and skilled. You're going places. People like you. You know, you're charismatic, you're good looking, you're really smart. Like, but you got to let go of these issues. Issues. He literally said, like, air quote, issues. He didn't mean anger management. He meant living wage. He meant racial justice. To be clear, that dude was helping me, he thought. He was mentoring me. He was saying, give up on these ideals and this idealism and this principle and so forth. Get in line because there is a path for you within the Democratic Party. You're going places, kid, and I'll take you there. He did help me, all right. He helped me to see that the world that I want is not going to come out of the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are the two establishment parties, and they exist to support and ultimately defend the existing establishment. So if you think the establishment and the basic system is more or less okay, then by all means stay in either the Democratic or the Republican Party, 5 minutes, and you know, tweak it at the margins. But if like me, you know that we need systemic transformational change, then I posit to you the Green Party is the cold, calculated, smart decision. And I'm going to end it with this. It has worked before. I'm going to now give you a list of what has transpired in this country when you had a mass movement and an electoral arm of that mass movement advocating for the principles, values, and policies of that mass movement as an alternative party. So-called third party sometimes, but I prefer alternative party. You ready for the list? This is what it took third parties or alternative parties to advocate at the ballot box and ultimately win. First, the abolition of slavery. Women getting the right to vote. The creation of the Social Security Administration. Unemployment insurance. Workers' compensation laws. Pure food and drug laws. Ending child labor. The direct election of the U.S. Senate, because some of you in political science will maybe know that there was a time when the state legislature chose who would represent the state. Folks, the entire fabric of what we today would consider the bare damn minimum for a decent and just society, I put it to you, that fabric was woven by militant social movements and third-party activists working together who did their work when they were called dangerous un-American. They did their work when they were called naive and unrealistic. And they did their work when they were called spoilers. So if you want to live in a world, not just talk about it, not just dream of it, but actually live in a world that will end war as foreign policy. If we want to live in a world that will dismantle the entire neoliberal apparatus and guarantee a living wage to all, if we want to live in a world that is going to get back into the balance that existed before capitalism and the enclosure movement, if we actually want to survive what is coming, I posit that we need to have the same courage and strength as our forebears did and join together in an electoral arm known as the Green Party. So that's my big picture pitch.